Hello and welcome to Coming Into Being. And I'll send my message out, and here we go. Okay. Something good that's happening on social media, and we're right here. This is it. This is one of the good things. Carolina, hello, coming right up. And yeah, so this is why we come here. People are everywhere, and people need to or can benefit. And it's nice to have that space that you can come to, have something that's good for you out there. And this is it. Tanya, hello. And if you're stopping by, you can feel free to say hello in the chat. Of course, on Instagram, you kind of pop up anyways, but you're welcome to say hello anyways. So, it's been an interesting day for me. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of trying to come in my space. So there's a lot of forces out there that will try to kind of come in and make use of your good light and your good juju. So that's been kind of my day. And it's kind of funny because you don't necessarily notice it right away. So one thing I say to people is to be aware of what your symptoms are when you're off. So, afterwards, after you've cleared something, it's like, oh God, yeah, I was feeling this, this, and this, Hey, Laria. And so afterwards, you can, start kind of just keeping track of how things come up. What are your symptoms for getting when you're off, and if you have a sense what that might relate to, it could relate for some interdimensional, hey, Sydney, interdimensional forces that are coming through and trying to just like suck up that good juice. Or it could be just somebody else that's trying to suck up that good juice. So today, we're going to anchor in and go into a good space and really strengthen ourselves. Do you feel that my spine in the middle of my scapula? Okay, well, we'll see. And I think you're pretty good at keeping track, but I think it's for you. That's more of a question. But am I getting this right, or am I making this up, kind of thing? Just double checking yourself. So let's see what comes up, Ilaria. All right, let's take a nice deep breath in. Ugh. So, yeah. Settling in, really coming into what you're sitting on. There's a lot of directions that stuff can come in from, it's not like always one direction. There's some key areas like the neck, the back of the neck. That's just kind of a plug-in zone, I mean, that's why they had it that way on the Matrix. There's a reason for that stuff. It's not made up. But it can also plug in chakras. It could come in from the left side. The right side. It could come in a little bit from the left side. So notice from here, which is more about tapping into you through your connection, your deeper connection. Asta, hello. So we're just gonna take it out of the ballpark, all of us. So take a nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top, really, and as you hold it, really kind of become really more aware of your body, and see if you can hold it a little bit longer and just kind of coming into that center line inside your body, so you feel like you're inside this, this little bottle, and then release, exhale out. And just notice anywhere points of tension as you stay really centered in yourself for a minute. And just kind of keep pulling into that center line. Yeah, there we go. And the space is opening up some more for us. No messing around with the space, the pure space of existence. You could say the pure space of the divine. Just allowing that to, so stay focused on your breath. I'm allowing that to expand some more for us and stay centered in, kind of just really keep focusing on being really inside your body, and just like, skin, we'll use the skin as that defining boundary there for yourself at physical level. And wisdom happy, hello. Focusing on that breath. Kind of being in that awareness of your body as well, of what you're sitting on. Since you're already with your body there, let's kind of anchor that into what you're sitting on. And anybody sitting cross-legged for this, because of what we're really focusing on, feet on the floor. To just really kind of emphasize that anchoring into the core of the earth. Yeah. And dropping our awareness down to the core of the earth. Core and core of the new earth and the new earth grid. And I feel yourself just kind of like either like on an elevator or slide, or just gently dropping down to that connection, to emphasize that connection for ourselves. New earth grid. Yeah, I would say this definitely has this feel of interdimensionals. Okay, connecting into new earth. Okay. And just staying with that connection. If you notice any mental activity going on for you, take a breath, hold your breath a little bit, then as you exhale, come back down into your physical body and down into the core of the earth, connecting in with the new earth and the new earth grid. Yeah. As soon as you notice any mental stuff coming up, yeah. There we go. Being aware of your breath. And let's go even deeper in with that connection to the new earth and the new earth grid. So on your inhale, like you're bringing it, you're pulling it up, you're sucking through a straw, whatever works for you. And pulling it through your body, through your feet, your ankles, your lower legs. We're doing this really slowly, so if you've kind of moved ahead, just kind of, that's fine, and then come back down and join us all. So we're just kind of slowly taking this in, really focusing on this new earth frequencies, new earth grid. Oh. Then with the knees and coming into the lower legs. And go as deep into the earth as you can. Get into the dirt, get into the rock, get into what's below the dirt. Kind of coming into the hips and that pelvic seat, pelvic floor, pelvic girdle. Kind of getting into rhythm with your breathing too. You can, just make it slow. Then bringing that all the way up to about the waist. Sometimes it's important to put a little bit more oomph and work and attention and push, however you want to word it for yourself, on just that dedication of holding for yourself, holding your space. And this was kind of one of those days, I think, in general. And moving up in, heading into the lower ribs, where the ribs attach. Coming into, slowly rising into that upper torso, the rib cage. Maybe making your breath a little deeper. And remember the back side as well. And you move your, just being aware, you can move your awareness around to the sides, the front, and the back. Let's not forget the back. See if you can feel each vertebrae, each rib. See if you can feel your lungs, as well as the rest of your body as we're moving up. Your breast, your scapula. Your stomach is kind of under the lower part of the ribs, so is your liver. So your spleen in the back. And kind of do the other stuff below, but that's all right. Just kind of right here, taking more detail. See if you can just expand and breathe in more deeply and take in more air. Really kind of expand. Doesn't have to be fast. Exhale slowly and expand even more with that in-breath. See if you can do the same length in and out. It doesn't matter how long you do it. Just see if you can do a little longer, even if it's a 1 or 2 count longer. Hold it and then exhale. Got a lot of stuff going on, so it's an interesting day. There's like the collective stuff that's coming up, but a lot of the collective is kind of caught up in the interdimensional stuff, so no surprise there. And feel your rib cage just kind of expanding in all directions, and then as exhaling and coming in to center. And then allowing that to flow into the arms. So the shoulders, let's start with the shoulders. Upper arms. Notice those muscles. Notice the, continuing with the breath, but bringing your awareness of the muscles, the way they kind of wrap around the bone. Two bones at the, no, I'm sorry, one bone. Two bones is down below. Next part. The nervous system goes in there, the vessels, the blood vessels. There's the fascia. Filling all of that up with the new earth frequencies. Elbows. And then flowing into the lower arms. So that's where we have the two bones. Letting yourself become as aware of that as you can, with your awareness. Just move through. Be aware of different parts. Skin as well. Didn't mention the skin before, except way at the beginning. The hair on your skin. The pores in your skin. Into the wrists and the hands. A lot of little bones in the palms, that section of the hands, and even in the fingers, all together. There's a lot of little bones in there for that flexibility, that movement, tendons. The tissues, the muscles, fat, if there's fat there, the joints, the fingernails. See if you can become aware of like your fingernails without needing to look at them, like just feeling them without looking at them, becoming aware of that. And then as you become aware of your arms, your hands, coming back into your arms, the rest of your body for a minute, all the way down that we've done so far. So down shoulders, down torso, into the legs, down to the feet, all at once. And coming into the neck. There's seven vertebrae in the neck. And the first one, or the seventh one, is right that little hump that some people have more pronounced than others. That's the start of the cervical vertebrae. Yeah, so we've got a lot of interesting stuff in the neck there too. We've got very strong muscles on the side of the neck that come down. We've got the vocal cords. We've got that esophagus, the trachea stuff. So the air passage, the food passage going right through there. Feel into that. fill that up with the earth, new earth frequencies, and just allow your awareness to move around. There's the occipital ridge in the back. And there's kind of this indentation right underneath them, and also right at the back of the juncture of the skull and the neck. And let's move it into the skull, and the head. So skull, let's start with the hair, the skin, the hair, the skull bones. Kind of just focus on those for a moment. Let's move our way in with this one. Kind of seeping in to your skull. Let's do the front first before we do that. Coming into the front of your front part of your skull, so your forehead, and the bone structure around your eyes, your cheeks, and up above your eyes, temples. And the nose is cartilage, so just not bone, but it's cartilage. And connecting right into the bone, and then the jawline. And having that awareness of the things like the eyebrows. And then keep your breathing slow. Your lips. Now, since we're right there, notice that air coming into your nose. Breathing all that through the intake of the air, and also through that pulling up with our with our intention, with our awareness of the frequencies coming up from the new earth. The ears, let's move that into the ears. Filling up that whole brain and that whole skull, on the everything that's inside that skull. The fluids, the tissues, the neurons. And as you exhale now, so inhale, you can focus on your, the air coming in through your nose, and the energy frequencies coming up through your whole body into your head on the inhale, and on the exhale, it's going right out the back of the skull. So that little gap right between the, right at that juncture. Take a nice deep breath in, filling up everything in your skull. Exhale, exhale out the back. And as you exhale, you can make statements to yourself, sort of like, I am statements. I am in charge of myself as you exhale. I am my own person. Whatever comes to mind. You might have different ones, just fine. But things about owning yourself, owning your space. I am resilient. Oh. And I'm seeing that going down people's spine. So this is really cool. So keep doing that. And that's really lighting up the spine too. All the way down. I am strong and resistant. I am in the purity of my being. Ooh. And keep doing that. And you can repeat the same one over and over again. That's fine. And this, we're going to keep moving that because that's filling up, that's going down the spine. That's lighting up the spine. It looks like little jewels and little gold, little sparkly lights, which is great. And then from there, from your whole body, well, that's actually from your whole body, but just really emphasizing the spine right now, lighting up that spine, gold flecks and gemstones, gem colors, and expanding out and filling out, arm's length out all the way around you. So with each inhale, pulling that brilliant frequencies of purity of the core of the earth, and then on the exhale, exhaling it out the back and fills up your spine, and then it expands out. So this little bubble all the way around you. And again, as you exhale, so that I am strong. I am resilient. I am master of my being, my energy. And just keep going. Everybody's doing really, really good with this. Expanding arm's length out all the way, all directions. Arm's length above your head, to your sides and front and back and below your feet. So let's keep working with that. Have that feistiness in you when you say, I am strong. Just be feisty about it. Like, hell no to not being anything but that. Yeah, I think some of you are liking that feistiness. It's like, yes, let's get into it. Yes, absolutely. And go even a little bit further than arm's length out. Just kind of expand that out even, let's say another foot. Okay, there's a couple of you that are not holding on to your strength. You've been so used to holding on to other people or leaning on other people. And to put it really bluntly, pushing into other people. And maybe you've done it nicely. That's, it's still pushing into because you haven't felt your own strength. And you have not pushed to really come into your own. So right now I'm going to say your life depends on it. So everybody, I'm going to say this, everybody can do this, but there's two people in particular, just kind of like being a little weak-willed about this and just kind of flopping around. Fuck that. Come into yourself, own yourself, hold yourself right now, because your life depends on it. End of story. Do it like there's no tomorrow, because there isn't. If you can't do this now, it's just having that. You're just going to keep yourself in the place you've always been, and you want to get out of that. So let's all do this together. Take a nice, so on your next inhale, take a nice deep breath in right now, all together. Make it as deep as you can. Deep, 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 even more. Hold it and say, God damn it, I'm going to own my space. I own my space now. And then exhale. Hold it. Hold it like this. This is your last ounce. And keep doing that over and over again. It's like, no, I am strong. I stand on my own. I am my own person. I am my own stability. I am my own strength. You don't need anybody else. Really own that for yourself as best as you can right now and push it. It's a little bit better. Let's do it again all together. A nice deep breath in. Inhaling as much as you can. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And if you think you can't inhale anymore, inhale some more. And even more, and then hold it and hold it. Let's hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And then as you exhale, I own myself. Boom. And exhale. It's a little bit better. There's one person that's still a little weak. So you got to practice that. And probably good for everybody to practice that. If you find that you are weak in holding your space, come into your breath, hold your breath, come into that breathing. If you need to make up a scenario, make some scenario that's going to like, if I do not hold my space, I am dying. I'm going to get killed. I mean, whatever you need to create in your head so that you hold and you say, hell no, to even reaching out of yourself to get that from somebody else. Hell no. And I got the car that's like beeping like, ee. I say, yes. No, we're going to like hold on to this. Damn it. It was pretty funny. I don't know if you heard it, but I could hear it. It's this emphatic honking of the horn there. Again, so let's do that again. Big deep breath in. Make it as deep as you can. Deeper, 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 deeper. One more breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And slowly exhale. Say, no, I'm holding my own. Slowly exhale. You're the one who's in control. You're the one who's in charge. Okay. Keep exhaling that. And then come back to your breath. That was a nice shift. That helped to release the structure that's at least one layer of that structure of holding in place in an old place of always depending on other people. That's it's a really hard piece, and so this is something that's really coming up very strongly right now. This whole piece about kind of attaching on to somebody, attaching on to something external to ourselves to hold on, to feel strong, to feel better about ourselves, and watch all the tactics. So for everyone, you can just kind of look at that. There's a lot of different angles that takes. Won't get into it too much today. We'll just let it sit because it's just kind of blasted through one layer there. So, but watch how how and when you slide out of yourself. Can't hold on to where you are. What are your weak points? You get frustrated about a situation, you go running to your friend and blah, da, 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 da. You don't like what you heard, you go, yeah, da, 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 da. Sit with everything that comes your way for an extra minute before you even respond, even think about responding. Build that strength to be in yourself, to stay centered in yourself. Because every time, something is hitting us and then we go, ugh, that's when we're pulling out of ourselves, and that's when we are moving in the direction of something external to us to hold up with. And some of you will have a lot more, you will be demanded from a lot more than others on this piece. All right, nice deep breath in. Okay, feel yourself, feel your body, feel your presence. Is one of the meat. Now, you're actually doing pretty well. You're a little weak, but you're doing okay. This time, just think about it for yourself. And if you feel like what I just said kind of registers to you for whatever degree, it's not about all or nothing. So let's make it more about how much do you do this? And Jolena, hello. Welcome. I don't know what time you came in, but we've been having a good session here. So notice how much you do it, because it's a question of degrees. It's, let's say, a scale of 1 to 10. It's like doing it real strong. You just got boom, or and when is it harder for you to hold on and stuff? So it's not just yes or no, but just that piece. It doesn't matter what it's about. It's about not just standing there, whatever you're feeling, whatever's coming up. So again, we can put that label on there if we want, but that's a way of throwing it on the external and pulling ourselves out of ourselves. So just stay with where you're at. Forget the labels. Forget that external storage. Notice even just putting a label on there is pulling you out of yourself, pulling you out of what you're feeling, pulling you into your head, Sydney, pulling you into your head. Pay attention to that, because that's fucking you up, or it keeps fucking you up. It keeps you from going into, so anybody who's going into their heads, getting into their thinking. So notice that. Sometimes we do that. Okay, let's take a break. It's a lot. Then come back into here. Come back into yourself. Come back into not moving away from here. It's damn hard. And if you think it's not hard, you haven't gone deep enough. You haven't gone to the core. Got to get to this. Got to get to this core piece. And you got to keep going in there. Something will come up again. I'll take you even deeper. You know, and watch that labeling, because that labeling is so intellectually astute. And that's the problem right there. That's the piece that's keeping you from coming into here. So stop yourself from labeling. Just come into all of that disruption, all of that. It's hard. All of that nasty feeling of everything that's been just like that. That's what's happened to just about everybody. Okay. All right. Well, it's coming up to say this. So this is the narcissist wounding. And here's my take on it. Here's what a narcissist is. And there's this piece with narcissist empath. So one person can be both, or be pure one or the other. But here's my take on it. Well, first, narcissist. A narcissist is somebody who is so void inside of themselves, so disconnected, so deeply wounded in their heart, totally jammed into their heart, got blown out here, that they are always reaching externally to themselves. There's a lot of different ways that people do it, because they can't hold strong in themselves. They're going to lean into somebody else. The empath comes along, so oftentimes there's this latching in between. There's a perfect fit between the empath and the narcissist. One person can have both of those, because they had a narcissist parent, and then they were very sensitive as kids, so empathic, and boom, it locks them in. And then they lock into doing this, both of them. Everybody, I don't think I've met a single person who has not had some kind of jamming into their heart space, some kind of hurt. It's a question of the degree and how much of that we have gone into to protect this thing, to protect ourselves here, to not, and it's not even protecting, it's not even feeling the pain that's there. So to some degree, everybody has that narcissistic pattern in them, because every time you reach out to lean on somebody because you can't hold on to yourself, that's a narcissist pattern. You know, it's not necessarily very, very strong. And it's not like, you know, we've got the typical full-blown examples out there, like Meghan Markle. I'm sorry, but, you know, Meghan, hope she can get moved beyond that. Donald Trump. But you look at those people, how deeply empty this space is. That's what's going on. So on the mark, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, and so this is for all of us, you know, to some degree we have that. And we need to come into this place to open up our hearts, to free ourselves, not just to open up the heart. You know, it's free that peace, let that go, and find ourselves in that, below all of that, you know, you can look at people like there's a picture of Donald Trump that somebody put out there on social media, used to bash him up, but I looked at that picture. It's like, oh, it's painful, extremely painful to see. It's when he was, I'm guessing, in his 20s, maybe, you know, earlier years, maybe a little later, hard to tell, but 20s, 30s, when he was young, and his mother. And it's like, holy shit, just the look on her face and the look on his face. Then you can understand why where he got to where he is now, why he is the way he is. Severe damage. So it's here. It's here that we need to just gently, not all at once. It's not going to happen all at once. Just need to come into here slowly. Come in as much as you can. It came up the other day, and I put a post because it was so beautiful the way it came through, talking to somebody. It's like, be generous in kindness and love to yourself. And in that, being kind and loving to yourself, it's about just being with yourself in your pain, in your suffering, in all that feels like shit that we don't want to feel. Be generous with yourself in those moments, because no one else has and no one else will. Only you can do that for yourself. So let's take a nice deep breath into this. Feel your whole being here. Having that pain is part of physical existence. It's okay to have that. It's okay to feel that. What's not okay is not being with yourself with that. Keeping it buried for yourself. Doesn't mean you go out and you love everybody. It's like, or just open-hearted to everybody. That might take some time, and it doesn't need to happen. It's about you with yourself. Holding yourself in that space. So instead of using that label, because that's what happened when you were little, that label is coming from up here, the mental, and that's what happened to you. So you're doing it to you over again. You're recreating that pain. You're recreating that boom to you, to what you're feeling in your heart. Okay. Deep breath in. Let's connect into the core of the earth. Let's finish there. Ha! And the earth, nature, the purity of your being, surrendering to that. This is the divine in existence. It's been coming up in some groups. To speak of the divine, this is the divine. Just that purity of being you. And in that moment of feeling your pain, that's the purity of you in that moment. Might not be the purity that you want to feel, but in that moment, when you are yourself, honestly, doesn't have to be around other people, with yourself. You start with yourself in that place. Very vulnerable place to be, very difficult. Do it gently, come in slowly. One piece, one little tiny tidbit at a time. That's the purity of yourself. And that's part of coming into the divine of you. The divine isn't that part that is perfect, that is glorious, that is illuminating. That's part of it. But allow yourself to be in that purity of your being when you are hurting. That is the most healing thing you can do for yourself and for everyone else on the planet by doing it for yourself. Okay. Wow. Deep breath in. Settling in. Feeling whatever is happening for you in this moment. It's pretty intense session here today from the start. Okay. Just focusing on that breath. Yeah, I find that when I'm hurting, it feels very unsafe. So you talk to yourself. It's unless you're somewhere where you're not safe, then you go somewhere safe. So just assuming that that's coming up when you are, and if not, just in your mind, I can imagine like it might not feel safe. And part of the reason it doesn't feel safe is because we feel extremely vulnerable when we're hurting, because then it's like that wound is there. It's like, well, gosh, I might get salt thrown on that wound. I got my, whatever, just a metaphor there. And breathe into that and tell yourself, it's okay, I'm here. I'm here with you right now, okay? And say your name when you do that. It's like, Ilaria, I'm with you right here, right now. We'll be okay. It might not feel comfortable, but we'll be okay. I'm holding your hand. Yeah. Because the part that feels unsafe is most likely, and most of the time, is going to be that part that has the wound. So it goes back, probably, usually goes back to when we were very young. And so narcissistic trauma creates emotional unsafety. Well, so does empathy. When empathy is not learned properly, that is also a very unsafe state because you're taking in all that stuff. So kind of double whammy there, right? Yeah. So you have to counter that. So that's that generosity and kindness and love to yourself. It's like, it's okay. That little child, that little toddler, that infant, that whatever has to just hear you with that peace. I'm here. The adult Ilaria is here with the child Ilaria, or the infant Ilaria, or whoever. I'm right here with you. It's okay. And that starts to counter that narcissistic trauma, because the narcissistic trauma is that going like that. It's like, boom. You start feeling something, you get shut down. Yeah. So deep breath into that. So just be generous in love and kindness to yourself. Love yourself. That's why I get so entangled in everything. Oh, there's, yeah. So coming back into your own body. All right. Good long session. A lot of really important stuff there. Yeah, really intense session today. QR code if you want a little donation there on the screen. So we're back with flying colors after a week off. We'll be back next Wednesday. So deep breath in and feel free to come back to this one. This was particular to really coming in and holding your own space. And then just that last piece, it was important to get into it. So come back to that. Listen to this again if you need to. And be with yourself. Yeah. Powerful and intense. Yeah, absolutely. We just blast away here. And so with that piece with the interdimensional, I mean, it connects in because the interdimensional is non-physical stuff is really about keeping you up here, keeping you locked into this place up here. So notice that when you come into your head about anything and come into your heart. So everyone, you all deserve this for yourself. And again, other people can help you. You know, you can have a session with me, or you can go to somebody else, and we can support you there. And you need to do it for yourself. Ultimately, it has to come back to yourself, doing it for yourself. And deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay. Don't ever think it's like, okay, I've hit the bottom. I can tell you right now, don't ever kind of assume that you've hit the bottom. Something else will come along and you'll go even deeper. So you just start to just slowly get into that groove of going deeper into your stuff and clearing it. And being with yourself, because that's how you clear it, is you be with yourself and you let yourself be in that space. When that clears, be in that place of better than before. And each time, and then you start to kind of get into a groove with it. You know, it's not fun, but you get into a groove. It's like, okay, I've done this before. It gets easier, you get stronger for yourself, and it gets easier in the sense it's like, okay, I know what I need to do. Don't like it, but you don't like to get on the treadmill, but we get out there anyways, and we just do those miles, right? So, okay, there we have it for today. We'll be back next Wednesday. Maybe next Wednesday we'll have an easier, lighter session. We'll see what comes up, but you know, whatever people need right now is what's important. So everybody take care. Have a good rest of your week. Thanks for showing up and being a part of this and doing this for yourself, with the group, for the group, and for the collective. Definitely is very important for us to do this right now and get that show of the new era on the road, right? All right, take care, everybody, and see you next time if you show up or in the ethers and wherever else we connect. Take care.